championship points race doesn't take shape until the third round, when every driver has filled a pocket with a point. Darlington hosted the round two, and it went green all the way. There were 5 lead changes between former series champ Max Theriault and a driver looking for his first crown, Trent Potter, with Theriault getting the last laugh, and to go with it, a points lead of just a single point in the championships race over Sean Single. A champ 2 seasons ago, Chris Hammett was second behind Theriault, just ahead of Potter. The series odds makers predict that Theriault and Hammett will again race for the win tonight, but there is no shortage of talented drivers to prove the odds makers wrong. As our series rules, the hot rod, as the per series rules, excuse me, the hot rods have been scrambled again. So pull the lever on the Lazy Boy and settle into the excitement of Cup cars on a 2-mile high-banked oval. Streaming cyberspace into your place from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's live as it happens third round coverage of the Red Light Racing League Scrambler season 21. You know, a warm Tar Heel hello and welcome on this Monday night, February 9th, 2026. Josh Granny Hips Buckley joins yours truly, Bill Soups on high from the VGN press box, dreaming our words eye view replay. Ryan, I'm sorry, it's the boss man, Lowell Jewell, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders tonight. Okay, the series started with trucks in Vegas, then Xfinity cars at Darlington, and this is the first time for the Cup cars this season. Josh, what's the trick to going faster tonight?
Trick to going fast is just you got to be easy with the throttle here. 2 different lanes that you can try to use. It looks like the high lane might come in here, especially as the tires wear a little bit. Biggest thing with these cars, they don't like dirty air. So you're going to be seeing everybody try to get that nose into some clean air, and hopefully that gives them a little bit of extra grip tonight.
Take a quick look at the points here, so we're running short of time. Of course, the Red Light Racing League has their own in-house odds makers. It's Kinalytics. With that said, we're going to use them tonight to talk about. With the win already this season, Max Theriault is the Kinalytics favorite to win here at Charlotte. Sean Single won the season opener at Vegas in the truck. For Trent Potter, it's 2 races, 2 podiums. Chris Hammett was second at Darlington. Kinalytics is calling for him to mirror that here tonight at Charlotte. The question for Connor Brasco is he overachieving, or has this kind of like a bulb lighting over the top of his head situation? Charlotte will help us get an answer for that one. For Jeffrey Souza, the 15th at Darlington will go into the season 17 champs pocket. The same thing for Jason Wells at Darlington 12th. More on Wells in a moment. Adam Martz was a Darlington no-show. He is 2-time defending Scramble champion. That said, Kinalytics barely sees James Bone Skelton cracking into the top 5. And Ethan the Mountain Troutman, well, he's earned, he got himself a top 5. Nevertheless, Kinalytics sees him getting a podium coming up here. Good job for the Mountain. That brings up our Soup of the Day spotlighted driver. Again, we're going to give Kinalytics the chance here to set the number, and we're going to put Simon and Poindexter, the VGN stat boy, is going to give them the night off. The spotlighted driver tonight is indeed Jason Wells. Wells was 4th in the trucks at Vegas, 12th in Xfinity cars at Darlington. Kinalytics has put the number at 10.5. Josh, bet the under if you think he'll finish 10th or better, over for 11th or worse.
I'm going to go with the under for this one. I feel pretty good about that.
All right. With that said, very confident. We like to give the drivers the benefit of the doubt. Let's go ahead and set the stage for you here as the drivers are beginning to grid up. The front row is going to be populated by 2-time champion James Bone Skelton. He's going to be flanked. Now, watch out for him. He's not in the top 10, but this guy's going to be quick. We're talking about the number 8 car of Zach Mitchell.
Starting in third is going to be Chris Hammett. To his outside, Bruce Potter.
All right, then your points leader, Max Theriault, will be starting in 5th. He's going to have Adam Martz to his outside.
7th is going to be Ethan Troutman. To the outside is going to be Connor Blasco.
Papa Ken Allen will be going in 9th with Ryan. Oh, we have a new driver here. I got to use my glass on this one. If I can focus in on this one, it looks like it is Oldeny.
And starting in 11th is going to be Tim Combs, and to his outside is Tony Strano.
My eyes were playing tricks on me there. Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen starting the Baker's dozen spot with Bill Eggs Benedict outside of him.
15th is going to be Jeffrey Souza, and to his outside is Jeff Lemire.
Next row populated by Devin Visna and the man who won the season opener, Sean Bloop Single.
Starting 19th is Trent Potter, and 20th is Jason Wells.
There's our spotlighted driver. He's got a ways to go. Back there in the blackjack position, it is Rob Higgins. Glad you are with us. Round number 3. First time with these Cup cars. Lining up. We're under the lights here at Charlotte. We went green last week. Let's see if we can do another 90 laps. All green. Nothing more exciting than green flag pit stops. Hopefully we'll get some of those. Nice healthy field of 21 drivers. They come out of corner number 4. We have a truck as the pace car. Let me look. That doesn't make sense, does it? We have a truck as the pace car. With that said, the perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland drives it down into pit lane. And now we wait on the flag man. We wait. Gather up the chickens, hey, cover on the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And it is James Bone Skelton leading the stampede down into the first quarter. On the outside, that's Zach Mitchell. Mitchell will be quick. Oh, losing a little bit of ground on the inside. That was Hammett. Chris trying to get it back, and now he's going to get third. And we got a car spinning. It is Devin Visna off into the North Carolina Alfalfa. Let's see what got him down there. Oh boy, he got loose.
Yeah, it looks like a little loose under throttle there. I don't know if maybe the car behind him gave him a little bit of a bump, and then it just shot him to the outside into Sean Single, it looks like, unfortunately.
Yeah, it got loose right in front of Trent Potter. Potter couldn't check up, and then the 11 of Sean Bloop's Single got the worst of that one.
Yeah, that's just the cold tires, trying to, get the heat in them early. When you go to throttle up and they're still cold like that, you can lose it pretty quickly.
Well, we weren't able to go all the way green tonight, but maybe we get that one out of the way. And now they start to form up behind the pace truck. Going to give the director a job. Is it possible, director? Can you scroll down your list of drivers there? Is Jason Wells available? Can you see him? That's a long shot. We don't often get to talk to Jason. In fact, we may not talk to him because I look like Jason might be coming into pit right now. What is the tire situation in this series, Josh? Do they have to worry about running out of them, or could Jason just be coming in? He's at the back of the pack, just topping off, perhaps?
Could be a strategy way to just top off fuel-wise, maybe just get that extra lap. We're looking at probably about, depending on what line you run, 30, maybe 32 laps on a tank of fuel tonight. Tires, there's going to be 4 extra sets, so I'm really not concerned about running out of tires tonight for these guys because there'll probably be 2 pit stops at most.
Got it. Unfortunately, we're not able to talk to our spotlighted driver tonight, Jason Wells. With the commentator curse, it might be just as well. He does come in for a stop. All the drivers who are 15th and up stay out. 16th and back have all come in for either fuel or perhaps repairs.
It looks like Sean Single might have already called it a night and packed it up.
Sean, that's why God created, well, actually God didn't do it, he gave it to the angels, but drop weeks. And thank the heavens for that. All this going behind me, James Skelton, 2-time Scrambler champion. Now in the opening you hear me talk about, and Josh, maybe you can elaborate on this. We say that this is season 21, but really, the Scrambler series has only been around for a handful of seasons, correct? We changed up the format. Am I thinking about that right?
No, the Scrambler series has been around for just that many seasons, 21 seasons itself. It's just, yeah, it's been something we've been doing for a long time, and the guys like it, different cars every week, so it makes it a bit more of a challenge.
Well, I have to dig down a little bit deeper in the research then to find out if there's any other champions floating around. Oh my goodness, I'm hearing a big echo of myself in my head most of the night, which is really, well, like I feel kind of actually omnipotent there. I feel like I know stuff. I feel like the voice of from the heavens. They're going to double up here, but it is a bit confusing for the old soupster. Skelton on the inside, Zach Mitchell on the outside. Hammett and your points leader Terrio back in row 2. Of course, Bruce Potter in the 59, sitting back there in row 3. On the outside of him, Adam Matz. Drivers to watch, Ethan the Mount Troutman in row 4 with Connor Blasco. Okay, the pace car is in. Blasco has been very fast early on, looking for a really good result from him. Well, let's try this one more time. James Bone Skelton leads the Stampede down into the first corner. It plays out pretty much like it did on the start. Mitchell grunts into second. Powering around the top side was Terrio, though. He loses momentum. Now moving up top is Hammett. Is he there? They see each other. Look at the top side roll, Josh.
Yeah, it's basically 2 different lines I was talking about. I wasn't sure if a high lane was going to come in early. I thought it might be one of those ones the tires flare, but Max making that work on the outside.
So with that said, who's going to try to work down low? Well, that's Connor Blasco. He's fighting. He's got the number 9 of Adam Matz to his outside. That's your first 2-wide battle. Oh, I correct myself. Up on top, there's a move. The 42 of Terrio has moved to the inside. In fact, losing a lot of momentum is Bone Skelton. James may be, is he playing possum? He's laying back, but we got ourselves a new leader as Skelton falls from first to third.
Yeah, a little bit of that is him and Max almost got together there, and I'm pretty confident that took the air right off of James's car. Max was able to drive right by.
Now with a run from fourth position, dipping down low is Chris Hammett. He had a good drive off of 2, pulled up right behind Skelton, goes underneath. Let's see if the number 6 can make it work. Again, the momentum seems to be the best way on the top side as they come out of 4. Look what it did for Skelton now as he runs up on the back of the 8 of Mitchell. Great racing up front. We'll get to some of the guys in the back in a minute, but the action is up here at the top end.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see that high lane be able to get those big runs like Skelton has right here. Just you're able to keep the the speed up more in the corner and just be able to carry it right off.
Boy, the low line is tempting, but when I see guys go down there, the pass stalls about as they get to the 1/4 mark in the car that it ends up as a failed attempt. Boy, they spread out wide. Let's look back at the 49 of Ken Allen. He just tried to go underneath the 95 of Blasco. Correctly, it was a 98. That did not work, and now coming up in one of the most prettiest cars out there, the Swedish Fish Machine of Tony Strano. Here's what I know about Swedish Fish. It's the loot fish. You cook that up with some brine, and you put it in the wall, like Strano just did, and you lose yourself a spot.
Yeah, you're going to have to be very careful as these tires wear. These cars are going to get extremely tight. It's tight off the rip as it is, but they're going to get really tight as these tires wear, and if you're really riding that wall, you might clip it.
They jump you around so much, but there's good 2-wide battles all over the place. Director, let's look at the 9 here again of Max. He's trying to work underneath the 95 of Blasco. I'm telling you, this Connor Blasco is a name to watch. All you little soldiers in the Clipboard Army, why don't you write down number 95, Connor Blasco. Right now, he's in 6th position, started in 8th. And I think his march is just beginning as he's going to try to go underneath now the 62 of Troutman. And easy, speezy, lemon squeezy for Blasco.
Yeah, he's definitely shown some speed pretty much every race so far, so I definitely do think that he's going to be a contender at this point in the race as long as he has no mistakes.
Little bit of the dip-to-do hustle up hokey doke there from Troutman as he does the up and under. Boy, those guys are really fighting for it. Up front, there's a battle for second. Rolling up on top now, trying to make it work. That's Hammett. It doesn't work, but then he gets a great drive off a two, goes down underneath. Now we'll try it on the low side. Boy, one of the stars of the show tonight is Charlotte. This is a battle for third. Seven laps led for Terrio, 5 laps for Skelton. Those two considered to be factors in the championship race as well as on the track tonight. Here comes Mitchell. Out of the top 10 in points, but faster than the point standings would indicate. That number 8 will be good. So you may be asking, Soup, who's the big mover? Well, let's go back to 10th position, 9th position, car number 18, Brent Potter. He's up 11 spots. Now, I can't read my handwriting, but I think I'm almost positive. In fact, I am positive that Potter was involved in that first incident with Luke Single there where Sean got in the wall. 18.
Yeah, I don't know if he really got any damage from it. The car looks pretty good from what I can see, so he might have gotten lucky if he was involved with that, but definitely just, trying to buy his time right now because there's still plenty of laps to go here.
Well, if we're unfortunate enough to get another caution flag, maybe that's a driver we might want to talk to, see how he's doing. Certainly making a run. He had a bad qualifying for him. Started in 19th. Starting to get single file now.
Yeah, I just saw the 6 of him and actually get by Skelton.
So how big does the draft play here, Granny Hips? Is that, we see a lot of swapping of positions. Is this track big enough where that comes into play?
It's definitely going to come into play here. The biggest concern is when you get too close to that car in front of you, if you're really, like you see Ethan Troutman really up the rear of James Skelton, it makes the car extremely tight because there's no air on the nose of the car, and it could cause people to drift up and into the outside wall. So these guys are going to have to be paying attention to that all night.
So you get the benefit of the draft, but then you want to try to get the pass done before you get into the corner. Mitchell harassing Troutman. There goes the leaders underneath. You can see the top 5. Oh, I love that camera angle. It's a nice wide shot.
Gotta say, I'm really interested in this fight that's going on between Max and Hammett. It's like kind of a chess match where Max was in the, on the bottom lane and Hammett was in the top. Going into this corner, they switch it up. Curious to see.
Coming out of corner number 4, Terrio prevails again. We'll see if Hammett gets him another run. Single file, the best action up front right now. We're looking there is the 8. That's Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now what drivers are probably thinking. We're 20 laps in. We're probably going to be looking at pitting the next 10 to 15 laps roughly. So everyone's just probably lining up, just riding the race still early and just, be there at the end.
Next battle for second. As Skelton actually got his car ahead of Hammett. But again, getting ahead of the car and then finishing the pass. Two different animals.
Yeah, this is going to be the point where I would be really curious if the outside would be able to prevail here, if they're side by side. But it looks like right now it really doesn't matter what lane you're in. The speed is the same.
Two wide battle on the outside. That is the 18 of Trent Potter continuing his climb up. Up 13 positions now as he got around the 95 of Glasgow. Working lap number 22, Josh. I know you're not out there racing. You don't have the numbers in front of you. Give the ballpark estimate. How far do you think they can go?
If I had to guess with everybody I was talking to earlier, we're probably, if you're running the low line, probably 32 laps on the tank. If you're running the high line, probably more closer to 30.
Boy, you guys really, the series managers, make it really tight there. Make that pit window very tight. We're going 90 laps. If you can go anywhere around 30, so you're looking at 30, 60, 90. That's very fun. We started with... Go ahead.
Big thing that we're going to be watching here, if we do get green flag pit stops, is going to be watching these guys get on a pit road. I saw a lot of guys trying to practice it, and a lot of guys were losing it. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to play.
Pit entry or pit exit?
Both.
Okay. We started with 21 drivers. We're down to 19. Early night for Sean Bloop single and Jeff Angawala and Lemire. Both calling it an early night here in Charlotte. That little battle settles down. We're looking at single file now.
We just had Trent Potter pass the 8 of Zach Mitchell for another position.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to talk to Trent as he's also not in, well, what we call here the system that we can bring him up and talk to us. So I'll just have to use my partner to get in the head of those drivers that don't prevail themselves to us here for interviews. I think we're looking at that skeleton under attack there from the number 6 of Hammett. Picking him up and putting him down is Max Terrio. He's got himself a Secretariat type lead. I'm going to say 20 lengths.
Yeah, the one thing about Max is once he's up front, it can get a little difficult to catch him back down. He's almost, I like to call him a machine. Like, it's very rare that you see a mistake out of Max, and he's just always very smooth with the wheel. So it's going to be difficult to catch him tonight.
Max the Machine Terrio. Careful what you call him. Those nicknames tend to stick. Trent Potter now up into 5th place. Having a real good run here from the 49. This says 49 on my... That's Kenny Allen.
You see Aldani on the outside wall there right in front of him.
Donnie losing momentum, and now here comes the 49, going to look to get right underneath him. Those are two really pretty cars. Maybe the car paint schemes look prettier here under the lights in Charlotte. Oh, and Allen gets a little bit of the wall.
Yeah, Ken got really tight there. He actually, when he went into that last corner, he actually got onto the apron and shot the car back up the track.
Well, when you're the spotlighted driver, how about you put yourself in a nice, I'm going to guess the color. Oh, let's use citrus flavored. That'll cover all my bases. The 64 there of Jason Wells. He's worked his way up into 12th spot.
Yeah, Jason is another, he's a quiet guy, but he will quietly move through the field and definitely show some speed at some point.
They're keeping them out in Troutman, making them move down low.
I'll probably start to be watching at this point. We might see some takers for pit road soon.
The lead Terrio back to Skelton. About just a tick under 0.2 of a second.
I see Bruce Potter on pit road right there. There's Devin Visnaugh trying to exit pit road there, getting a little squirrely, but he was able to hold on to it.
Some drivers from the back making those stops. Nobody up front yet of significance to make a stop.
Yeah,
Let's
Ken
look at
Allen
this.
on pit road.
Here comes the 18 of Trent Potter. He just got up another spot, working his way past Chris Hammond. Didn't take long. Okay, here comes the first of our leaders. Skelton has come in. Terrio stays out. So what we will do is we'll document this. The lead may cycle through several drivers, but right now, it's going to be between Potter and Terrio, or Skelton and Terrio. Skelton has found his way to the box. Looks like he's up on the left side. He's waiting in there. He's still in there.
I'm wondering if he got a penalty.
I think he might have got a penalty. It was an incredibly long Scott for Bones.
And what I'm actually noticing is Trent Potter's still out on track with everybody pitting now. Potter's coming in. Last week he was the first one to pit. This time he's one of the last ones.
Terrio rolling out of pit lane right now. So the leaders of all the cars who have pitted is Terrio. He comes out on the track. Here comes Chris Hammett. He is at full song. There's Terrio. And when it's all said and done, it looks like Hammett is going to get underneath him with some momentum. And I think we got ourselves a new leader. Right now, Hammett and Terrio side by side. They race for 5th position. We're waiting for Benedict, Wells, Potter, and Matz to come in.
Oh, Hammett into the outside wall hard.
Yep. Correct myself, Potter has made his stop. He's out in 3rd.
I'm really curious if there's going to be a lot of damage on that 6. That looked like a pretty hard hit.
What is the tire temperature situation after a pit stop? Is that a factor like we see in like the modifieds and the late models about tires heating up, or not so much an issue?
Well, the tires will definitely heat up. It's just a matter of the driving style and how much you're really trying to abuse the tire. So it's all going to be based on how you're driving the car.
Well, let me ask you this. In these cup cars, when you're coming out, are you happy on a new set that first lap? Are you feeling good, or are you playing it careful?
Oh, you're playing it careful. Those tires are cold and they are slippery, and you will be all over the place. So these guys, you know, it's not easy coming off pit road with cold tires in this car.
Got it. Bill Benedict was the last to pit. He did get credited with leading a lap. Yes, he did. 2 of them. Bonus points for eggs. And when it's all said and done, he cycles out in what I think is 8th position.
Yeah, that was a costly mistake for that pit road penalty for Skelton. A lap down.
Boy, and that's crushing when you think about a championship. Those are the mistakes that you forget about at the end of the season, but they come back to haunt you when you're looking for, oh, how did I lose by a handful of points? Well, a speeding penalty at Charlotte round 3 is your answer. Let's give some love to car number 62, Ethan Troutman. Kenalytics predicted him to finish 3rd. And where is he racing right now? 3rd. You know who Kenalytics picked to finish 2nd? Chris Hammett. Where's Hammett racing? 2nd. And if you've caught a pattern here, Max Ferrio was predicted to win, and he is leading.
So you got some pretty good predictions from Analytics right now.
Mercy. Rolling through here, looking for our spotlighted driver. He's in 12th spot. I love the pace scheme for Jason Wells. Jason, get in the service so we can talk to you, man. You're racing in 12th. You need 2 spots to get to that under, and they're right in front of you right now. They're there for the picking. Bill Benedict and Tim Combs. In fact, Combs in the 17 is about to be goggled up here by Wells. There we go. Wells is going to part with Combs and get that position picked and leave him behind.
Yeah, this is where everything's going to start to spread out. Your green flag pit stops happen. You have people that pitted on different laps, so maybe a little bit of a fresher tire, maybe not, maybe a little more of a worn tire. One thing I will mention is just looking at Connor Blasco, he's back up to 5th.
Indeed. If he can just figure out how to get the results that his speed would indicate, watch out for him.
As you see, the 8 of Zach Mitchell, hit the turn 4 wall there. I do have to say, I've seen a lot of cars hit these walls tonight. I'm really kind of impressed with the way they're just able to keep running.
Troutman making a move in a nice battle. Oh, they were working on the lap car there. That was caught me by surprise. That was Deva Visna in the 7 out there that they were going around.
Yeah, Devin's probably a little slower with the damage he had from that lap 1 incident. So
let's look at this little dance going on of the 62 of Troutman and the 18 of Potter. They have lost touch with the front 2 that seem to be the class of the field, Terrio and Hammett. Still within shouting distance. They are all, I don't know if it's a chip shot, they are a long putt away from the front 2.
Well, do remember that Trent Potter really came through the field. He looked faster than most guys on the late in that run. So I'm curious to see if that's what we're going to get again on this run.
Drivers starting to pair up now into dance partners. Troutman and Potter together. Blasco and Mitchell right behind them in a battle for 5th. Then another 2-car battle between O'Donnell and Matz. Back in 7th. I think this is Ryan's first race. I'll have to check, but I don't remember mispronunciating his name before, so one would think he's making his season debut.
Yeah, this is his first race of the season. I believe it was he was having his computer fixed or something like that, so he missed the first couple races. But it's good to see him out here tonight.
Nice little battle with Matz. Wow, very close. Good battle. Come on, look at the low side for Bill. This is fun racing. These guys put on a good show. Clean racing and knock on this imitation wood here. But just 1 caution tonight. No cautions last week. Right on board with... Oh, now we're on O'Daney behind him. Love the way that the Charlotte light makes these cars sparkle. Like a necklace on your wife's end table.
Yeah, you're seeing Ryan there. He kind of he goes into the corner there, and he's actually a little bit above where Adam's running. Part of that is getting air on the nose of that car, and also a little bit higher. He's just trying to carry the speed off the corner if he can. but it is such a difference when you are right on the rear of the car in front of you. It takes all the air off, and the car gets extremely tight.
It's a nice camera shot there. All right, Director, let's go back and look at our spotlighted driver, Jason Wells. Well, the number was 10.5 by Kinalytics. Not only can they predict how the race order is going to be, they can predict where everyone's going to finish. He's racing in 10th right now. Bill Benedict in front of him. Losing touch with him is the Lutefish, Tony Strano.
Well, after striking out in the last two races, I'm feeling pretty good about this one right now. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
Well, not only is Wells having a good race, but he's up 10 spots. He's our second big mover after Trent Potter.
See Troutman get a little bit of the outside wall there out of 4. It looks like Trent Potter's going to make that move and see if he can make it stick.
Potter in the 18, moving into the top 3, I believe, for the first time. Troutman may not surrender Casper on that as he's looking to go low.
Yeah, just a little bit of a mistake on Ethan's part, getting a little tight on the corner. As you see it, he really clobbers the wall that time. But it just that loop kills all the momentum, and Trent was able to just make the move after that.
So I can't tell you if Potter is closing on Hammett or if Hammett is coming back into the clutches of Potter. But the ceramicist has worked his way up into 3rd right now, working on the back of Hammett. Setting his sight on Terrio. Now we're going to look at, this is Time to Wallow in Lemire. That's his crash. Ended his night. .38 laps down.
Yeah, it's a hard lick to that outside wall in the backstretch there. So definitely some big damage, probably ending his night.
That one makes you glad it's sim racing.
And it looks like Trent Potter got by Hammett for 2nd place.
Yeah, I think I got the answer there as whether it was Hammett falling back or Potter gaining. Potter is really moving right now.
Also keep in mind, Hammett did hit the outside wall with that right front a little earlier, so it might have been fine for a little bit, but maybe it's really starting to wear on him now.
We're getting very close to that 2nd pit stop. And you want to pay close attention because it took out one of our contenders. James Bone Skelton got that speeding penalty, and he is 1 lap down. He's hoping to get around. Now, let me see if I can see where Devin Visna is. This could be significant. Oh, he's got a half a track to get to Visna for the lucky dog. Visna sitting 1 lap down. The leader of all cars 1 lap down, so I don't even know if Skelton's going to be able to get a lucky dog if a caution were to come out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be difficult at this point, but it's one of the things about pitting. You got to be super aggressive, but you don't want to be too aggressive, and unfortunately Skelton was one of those where I don't know if he locked up his tire or something, and just it looks like speeding on pit road on entry there when he's just trying to get a little more out of it than he wanted to try to gain some time, and just misjudged it.
So here's the order before the pit cycle. Terrio, Potter, Hammett, Troutman, Blasco, Mitchell. I think those are the guys that are in the hunt for the win. They are all separated by about 10 car lengths each. There's no real battle up front right now. I would be surprised unless somebody makes a mistake on pit lane if there were to be an issue. The first battle he got, and it's been a good one, is Benedict, Oldani, and now Wells is back in 3rd. These guys have been shuffling around spots. Wells still racing in 10th. I believe Oldani was in 11th, so somebody must have dropped out from ahead of them for them to pick up a spot.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, you get the green flag pit stops. Things generally will spread out, after you get a green flag pit stop, and especially once we go and we have another one here, it's probably going to spread out even more. But those that fast pack of guys in the front is definitely going to be the ones to watch on how they enter pit road and what lap they come in.
Wells coming out of corner number 4, gets the spot. I think he'll be able to hold it.
Do not be surprised at the lap 61. It looks like right here that we might start seeing people pitting soon.
Real quick, to satisfy the hearts of all the teenage girls across the nation, could we put the camera on car number 60? He's racing in 12th. It's Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. Having a quiet night, not being really competitive. With that said, pit stops have started. Terrio is out there still. Potter, Hammett, Troutman, Blasco.
Zach Mitchell on pit road.
Mitchell pits from 6th. The first of our front guys to pit. Terrio stays out. Potter, Troutman stays out. Mitchell coming back out onto the track right now.
Trent Powder onto pit road. Max is staying out.
So we'll try to do what we did last time, but Skelton hurt us with that penalty. We'll watch Potter. We'll watch Terrio. Trent is in his box. We expect Terrio will probably pit this time around. Troutman may inherit the lead unless he decides to come in too. So Terrio comes in. Trent Potter rolls. Right when Terrio comes in, Potter rolls, so the distance is about a lap. Inheriting the lead is Adam Matz.
I saw Connor Blasco on a pit road. He actually got a little too far ahead, had to back up. That's going to cost him a little time.
Okay, director, let's put the camera on Trent Potter, car number 18. I believe he's in probably 10th position right now. Now, Max Terrio has come out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, Max is definitely going to beat him off here.
Potter well back. Pit stop advantage goes to Max. And when I look at the times, if I see how that actually worked out, I'm looking at 15.6 for Terrio, Trent Potter. Oh my goodness. That's about 20 seconds. Potter with an incredibly slow stop.
Yeah, and the one guy that is sitting right behind Max right now, again, is Chris Hammett.
Finally, Cinderella has a curfew as Adam Matz comes in after leading one lap. Oh, I want to correct myself. 3 laps out in front for Matz. Well done. Benedict follows him in. And partner, it's all done. We've set ourselves up for a race to the end.
Yeah, you got everything you need right now. Biggest thing, just make no mistakes, and that's going to be the thing. And everybody that is behind Max is hoping that Max will make a mistake, but it is very rare that that happens, but it is possible. But it's, you know, everything that you got on that car is what you got now, so you just got to do what you can with it.
So the driver to come in first, actually 3 laps earlier than Terrio, was Zach Mitchell. And when he came in, he was in 6th position. He has leapfrogged several drivers. He now races in 3rd spot. He's ahead of Troutman. Trent Potter with that horrible stop back in 5th. Connor Blasco In fact, let's look at Blasco right now. Blasco has a run coming up on Potter. I think he may get him here. Look at the 95. Pulls up behind him, decides not to force the issue. Here's maybe the best battle on the track of the leaders. Troutman in 4th. Potter and Blasco coming in 5th and 6th. Look what our director has done there as he puts up that little box showing the 3 drivers we're looking at.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if Connor's really going to have a lot for Trent. Trent, throughout the race has really shown some speed. Obviously, a mistake on pit road there. Not exactly sure what happened, which did slow him down a little bit. As you see the 95 get under the 18 right here.
Blasco working hard. You'll see on the tower, you look at one car right behind these guys that are a lap down. We'll stay on this battle for a minute, but I'd like to highlight a driver. He's a former champion who's struggling a bit. And that is Jeffrey Souza. He's got a championship, a Scrambler championship, and it wasn't that long ago. Right now he is a lap down.
Yeah, I don't know if he had damage. I heard him say something about, I don't know if he got into the wall or something like that, but as you actually gets into the wall right there. He's definitely, especially in these cars, he's normally really good. Just having an off night, it looks like. Maybe a mistake or it just got some damage and then try to ride it out since.
All right, there's another good battle. Director, go with me on this one. Car number 64. This is our spotlighted driver, Jason Wells. He just got passed by Benedict. Not too far in front of him is Ryan Aldani. These guys have been together, partner, the whole race. We've been watching these guys swap positions since lap 20.
Yeah, no, it's these guys that always seem to find their way around each other. It's just, kind of how it seems to be with them, which still makes it fun. It's a lot of fun when you're racing around guys instead of just racing with yourself. So
you're not missing anything up front. Terrio, Hammond, and Mitchell, about 15 car lengths apart each. Troutman, Trent Potter, and Blasco are a little closer, but not much happening there.
See Bill taking the bottom here to try to get by the 98. I think he might be able to clear him here. It's going to be close to him. Yep, he's going to clear him.
We're looking at the most competitive and exciting race going on between Benedict, Oldani, and Wells. They've been swapping parts, and Wells in 10th has just got himself right to where he needs to be to make my partner a winner.
I'm wondering if Wells is honestly just sitting back, just watching these guys go after each other and just go, all right, you use up your stuff, and I'll be there later, as you see him try to make the move on Aldani right now.
Well, Terrio may get the win, but I'm not sure if he's having as much fun as Benedict, Oldani, and Wells right now. They're having a humdinger of a time. Director, real quick, let's take time to look in on some guys we haven't checked in on. Let's go back to a driver in 11th position. This is Tony Strano in the Lutefish machine, all by himself. Started in 12th, racing in 11th right now. Drop back one more spot to Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen back in 12th. Two more cars. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Ken Allen first. Papa Ken in 12th. Then in 13th, it's Luke Logan Allen. There we go. And how about the last car on the lead lap? And partner, I'm going to lean on you again. The relationship between Bruce and Trent, the Potters, are what? Bruce is
the father, Trent is the son.
Got it. Both father and son on the lead lap.
Yeah, Bruce actually had a pretty good qualifying run there. Started up, I forget if it was like fourth, fifth position. So that was really impressive on his end. I don't know if he wound up with a mistake that I didn't see, but kind of faded his way back a little bit.
So there you have it, 14 cars on the lead lap. Jeffrey Sousa marching in the lucky dog spot. As the laps begin to tick away, working lap number 80 is Max Terrio coming around. We'll be looking at lap number, pay attention, Director 81. You know what that means. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spinning. Rip the groove. Make your move. Put on your dancing shoes. Get out there and show what you got. You know why? It's time to boogie. Hitting the post like a pro. And out in the front, it's Max Terrio. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to boogie themselves up to Max right now. May hurt themselves.
No, but what you're looking at is everybody behind him. You got 4 cars together, and they're listening to you right now. And
I'll say. Look at that. That's Mitchell in third, but those guys have ran him down. Potter is behind him. There's Blasco. Troutman now has fallen back.
Yeah, Troutman got a little bit of that outside wall again. Definitely slowed him down there.
Oh, Blasco is loose. Oh, my goodness. He saves it like a hockey goalie on steroids. Wow.
That was a great job by Blasco holding on to that one.
He was having a lot of fun, but that takes him out of that chase for third. Now you're looking at Mitchell leading, Potter on the low side, and the caboose of that 3-car train, Ethan the Mountain Troutman. Luke Logan Allen goes a lap down. Your big mover, of course, Trent Potter. And then our highlighted driver, Jason Wells. I love this camera shot. In case you don't have your volume up, I'll do it for you. Boom. And one from the ground. Director, let's look at car number 64. Spotlighted driver. He's all by himself. You know, in Switzerland, it's illegal to just own one guinea pig because they are prone to loneliness. Luckily, we're not racing in Sweden tonight, as Jason Wells is, I'm sorry, Switzerland. Jason Wells is all by himself out there in ninth. Speaking of Sweden, let's look in on car number 3, Tony Strano. He's in 11th. That's James Skelton that he's racing with. They're not for position.
Looks like Trent Potter just got by Zach Mitchell as well.
That's the best battle. Let's focus on that one. Potter now up into third. Mitchell trying to hang on in fourth. Troutman doing his best to stay with those guys, but don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, still a good run by Troutman. He's with all, you know, the amount of times he's been in that outside wall, the fact he's able to keep up with these guys, I'm a little impressed with. And then you got Connor, who's kind of, you know, getting his way back from that little bit of a slip up and saving that car earlier. So.
Terrio, your leader?
In the back there is Adam Metz, too.
been a good one. One caution early. 180 laps of racing over the last 2 races with 1 caution. Can't ask for much more than that. Meanwhile, our contract says that we must put the camera on the leader from time to time, so as he crosses the line, gets the white flag, one last round, looking to make it 2 in a row. He has a championship to his credit, looking for a second. Hailing from north of the border, he is Max Terrio out of corner number 4. 2 in a row for the Canadian. Max Terrio gets the win. Chris Hammond gets second. Trent Potter has a great run for 3rd. Mitchell and Troutman go 4th and 5th. And our spotlighted driver, Jason Wells, goes from 20th to 9th, hits the under, makes my partner a winner. Well done, number 64, Jason Wells. The racing is over. Our broadcast is done. We'll take a short break, come back, run down the finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. You're watching VGN. Don't go far. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway and the Virtual Grips third round coverage of the Scrambler Series sanctioned by the Red Light Racing League. It's season 21. With that said, let's go ahead and give you the finishing order right now. 90 laps of racing, and was all said and done, it was the man who won last week, wins again. That is Max Theriault, your points leader. Stretches the point lead ever so slightly as Chris Hammond was right behind him in second. Great run from Trent Potter. Horrible qualifying. Went from 19th to 3rd. Back half of your top 5. Zach Mitchell in the 8th and Ethan the Mountain Troutman in his familiar number 62. We get to the back half of your top 10. Adam Matz with a great run. Started in 6th, raced up there the whole time. Connor Blasco, 7th position run from him. Bill Benedict, 14th to 8th. Well done. Our spotlighted driver, Jason Wells, started in 20th, drove through the field like we knew he would. He finishes in 9th, beats the under, and makes my partner a winner for the first time this season. And making his season debut is Ryan Eldani. Started in 10th. That's where he'll finish. Partner?
And 11th, you're going to have Tony Strano. 12th was Ken Allen. 13th is Bruce Potter. 14th, Luke Logan Allen. 15th, Jeffrey Souza. 16th, James Skelton. 17th, Devin Visnaw. 18th is Tim Combs. 19th was Bob Higgins. And 20th was Jeff Lemire.
And then there was the Sean Bloop Single, who started this race in 2nd position in the points. Horrible night from him. He'll finish dead last. With that said, let's go ahead and call up our race winner, and that is going to be Max Theriault. And let me know when he's in the booth, as I don't have that information. Max is soup up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hi, guys.
All right. You had speed in the race, not so much in qualifying. 5th place in qualifying. You weren't too worried?
I didn't know if the first or the second lap would be the hot lap, so I went all out on the first lap and didn't gain as much as probably others did on the second lap. But fortunately, I took the lead early on, and clean air was all it took.
I think the only thing that could have been the fly in the ointment that kept you from the win, as you were clearly fast when racing, would have been the pit stops, and they seemed to go pretty well for you.
Yeah, backed off just a bit from where I felt like I could push it. And after the first pit stop, second pit stop, I saw other guys having issues, probably in or out. So that was probably the best call, to just take it a bit easier, also having a bit of a gap before pitting. So I had that leeway that probably others didn't.
Well, we got you. All right, we're going to get you out of here on the fan favorite segment here. We feel we're going to talk to you a lot this season, so we got the Get to Know Max Theriault segment of the broadcast. Here we go. Favorite Disney princess? What would it be, Max? Now, you got Cinderella, you got Snow White, but then you got those other ones. What would it be?
I'm gonna go with my niece's favorite, the Frozen one. I think it's Disney, is it?
That's Queen Elsa. Yeah, we'll go with Queen Elsa. Well done.
There you go.
Disney princesses.
Yep.
Get to know a little bit more about Max. We'll see you down the road, buddy.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Soup a little embarrassed that he knows so many Disney princesses. Partner, who you got?
All right, we'll finish in 2nd place again is Chris Hammett. I don't know if we have him in the booth yet, but 2nd place, Chris Hammett. You got a copy?
I got you, Mr. Buckley.
Man, you just like talking to me, don't you?
I mean, I was telling Trent, we didn't even need to run the race tonight. Just copy and paste last week's results. We could have done the interview an hour ago and been out of here.
I got you on that. So, curiosity question. I saw you hit that wall earlier in the race. Obviously didn't damage the car as much as I thought.
No, car was fine. Didn't have any damage when I came back down pit road. Just that was like my one opportunity to try to get in front of the 42. Clean air was such a big factor tonight, and a huge advantage if you had it. So that was my one shot, and I slid him and just slid him a little too far and nicked the wall, and he got back by me. So yeah, who knows what would have happened? Maybe I could have held him off and burned his right front up there on that run. But yeah, I can't complain too much. Ain't no shame running second to Max. So second back-to-back weeks. We're building some good momentum here early in the season, sitting in a good point spot at least. So I can't complain too much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You definitely, once I saw that car hit the outside wall, I was like, I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't go falling back, which he did pretty good being able to hold on to it. So with that, just making nice and quick tonight. Anybody you want to thank?
Obviously, I have to thank my awesome, loving wife, Ashley, for letting me come back here and do this. Very supportive in all my stuff I do on this thing, which is becoming ever much more. The longer I do this, I get involved in more things. So always shout out to her. Shout out to all the guys at 4X Racing, Zach, Sean, and Ryan for all of their support. Best team in the league by far. Love racing with those guys. Shout out to all the admins, you, Josh, Ethan, and my best friend forever, James Skelton, who just, can't seem to put it together. He just really needs to focus on putting himself in good spots and not making mistakes. So I'll talk to him about that. Shout out to the Higgins family, Checker Flag Auto Supply, VGN for broadcasting the race, Django Maserati's Hamburger Lounge, still rocking the black and gold, trying to get that third championship. We're off to a good start here. Vegas was okay, but back-to-back top threes, we take those. I think that's everybody. I will say, shameless plug, be sure to tune in next Tuesday on VGN for the yesteryear iRock series that your boy got invited to do. Apparently somebody thinks I'm good enough to do that. So check us out on VGN. We're in the Cadillacs. We'll be at the Daytona Road Course. That'll be a whole bunch of fun, so check that out. And thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for the broadcast. And now for what I'm assuming is a very silly question.
No, basically all I'm going to say at this point is I'm still looking forward to that chicken parm that you've been talking about. So I really need to, get one of those sent my way because you swear that she's got a good chicken parm. Well, I got to be the judge of that. So, but other than that, great job on the second place finish tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so who do you got for the third?
That was some Michael Waltripian sponsor plug skills there by Chris Hammett. That was impressive, man. All right, I got Trent Potter, who finished third today. Trent, I know it's fun to win and finish second, but I bet you, when it came to the fun quotient, I bet you had more fun than Terry or Hammett. You passed a lot of cars today.
Yeah, I messed up qualifying. I got it down to dog leg a little too much, and it was invalid. I just made the best of it. Now I didn't think it was going to be as easy, I guess, as I made it seem. I just tried to put my car where others weren't and adjust my line accordingly.
Then, if I can read my notes here, you got yourself all the way up, and then that last pit stop didn't help you too much, right?
No, I was trying to be slick and just kind of go down on the fuel a little bit. I thought I went a little too far, so I adjusted it back up just a hair, and then of course it wouldn't refuel until after that stop, so it held me for like 3 more seconds. So yeah, it just put me behind again.
Yeah, look at everybody's stops are like 14, 15 seconds. Your last one was 20. Nevertheless, you got yourself a third. You feel very good on this. Now, we haven't raced in the ARCA car yet. How you feel about that machine?
I do like the ARCA car. It's probably one of my favorites. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we're going to the road course, so I've run a little bit in it at a road course. It's a little touchy on the throttle, but I'm pretty good with road courses as well.
All right, it'll be fun. With that said, we'll see you down the road. Congratulations on the third place finish tonight.
Appreciate it. See you.
All right, Trent Potter finishing third. We're not done yet, folks. Don't go away, because this is the most important part of the broadcast, and we hear that it's the part you all love the most, you hang around for, and that's the closing. Look at all those races coming up. You can read them all. Find the one you like the most. We got some road courses coming up. That'll be exciting. We actually know how to do that here on VGN, and we're looking forward to it. Find one that you like. All those broadcasts, ones that are coming up, ones that are in the past, all a production of the Virtual Grip Network. With that said, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. On behalf of all the little faces you see there, we'll try to do better next time if you think we can. With that said, until then, have fun storming the castle.